Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Luis Portelles, and for today's video, we're going to be talking about Miss Universe Vietnam. And I am very sorry already, I have to say that this is going to be another video with very sad news. So in case that you haven't been around on social media or the pageant pages, earlier this morning it was announced that the current title holder for Miss Universe Vietnam will not be competing at Miss Universe as expected in the 2023 edition, which will be held in El Salvador. If you recall, we actually followed the entire Miss Universe Vietnam competition here on the channel. And as you know, this competition is held only once every 2 years, meaning that the winner of the competition goes to Miss Universe on that year, and the first runner-up is ultimately sent on the next edition. That was exactly the case for Ngoc Chau, who ended up winning the title in 2022 and competing at Miss Universe in New Orleans. By the way, she delivered an amazing performance and she was the best in swimsuit during the competition. So now for the 2023 edition, it was the time for Thao Nhi to go and represent Vietnam at Miss Universe. However, we all remember that as we were preparing for the 2022 edition of Miss Universe, the ownership of the entire organization was shifted from the US to Thailand and is now officially under the JKN Global Group. To be honest, this is just some information for overall context, but it shouldn't have an impact at all on the girls' ability to compete at Miss Universe as expected. Just a few weeks ago, I actually covered here on the channel the entire bidding war at Miss Universe, meaning that the organization asked national franchise holders to bid for the right to hold the franchise for Miss Universe. This exercise was actually supposed to reveal the real financial potential of the Miss Universe brand in each country. And according to those bids and the amounts that will be offered, the organization then had the right to decide who will be the official title holder for the Miss Universe brand in each country. Now, I know that a lot of you guys actually follow this event. Many people talked about it and were really upset because certain countries who have had relationships with Miss Universe for decades were affected by these decisions. We're talking about Indonesia, we're talking about Malaysia, we're talking about some of the African countries, for example, Miss Universe Mauritius, Miss Universe Seychelles, and this is just to name a few. But of course, Miss Universe Vietnam was one of the big names that actually was also affected by this. And I say one of the big names because we all know that Vietnam for the past few years has been a racing powerhouse when it comes to pageantry, not just with the caliber of candidates that they send internationally, but also with the production value, with the wardrobe, with the preparation in every single aspect. All of the machinery of the entertainment industry in Vietnam is backing up their title holders. However, it seems that all of this did not make them immune to all of the changes, and the Miss Universe Vietnam organization, which was held by Unicorp in Vietnam, was actually outbid. Now, before we get to talk about the real issue here, which is the fact that Thao Nhi will not get to compete at Miss Universe 2023, let me give you a little bit of context. If you recall, a while ago, there was a little bit of a controversy because of the entire copyright of who can use the term Miss Universe Vietnam for their national pageant. Copyright is a big thing that applies not only within a nation, but also is something that must be respected internationally. And so that also applies to Miss Universe. So right after the organization was transferred to a new owner, Miss Universe designated that Unicorp wouldn't be able to use the title of Miss Universe Vietnam anymore. Right after that, we had the first incident, which potentially put Thao Nhi representation of Vietnam at Miss Universe at risk, and that was the fact that her nationality was being questioned. For those of you who are not aware, Thao Nhi was actually born and raised in Germany. She went to school in Germany, she studied there, she graduated, she started her own business in Germany, and then after that, she decided that she will go to Vietnam. She would actually just relocate, move there, and start her life again. Now, of course, this might seem like a very normal thing, especially a lot of kids of immigrants follow that path. You know, they end up going back to the homeland in a way. So I don't see why this will be a deal breaker. However, it is the nationality of Thao Nhi that was being questioned, meaning that they all knew that she had the German documents, of course, to prove that she is from Germany, but it was being questioned on whether or not she was the holder of a Vietnamese citizenship, which is one of the requirements to compete at Miss Universe Vietnam. So already because of that, she was being questioned and they were looking at other alternatives just in case that she wouldn't be able to represent the country at Miss Universe. All of those things ended up being resolved, and it seemed like Thao Nhi was going to be able to represent Vietnam at Miss Universe. However, earlier today, it was announced that this was not going to be the case. We had a formal announcement saying that although Both parties, meaning that the Unicorp side of Miss Universe Vietnam alongside the new organization, were trying to collaborate and come together with a solution so that Thao Nhi didn't lose her opportunity to represent the country at Miss Universe. I'm going to praise both parties because, of course, although this is a business matter, they still had the candidate's best interest at heart. So, give credit when credit is due. However, none of these factors that we just talked about was actually the deal breaker. So they ended up proving that she had the legal status in the country to represent Vietnam. The copyright issue was also resolved, but the talent management rights couldn't be transferred from one organization to the other. So because Thao Nhi was actually crowned during Unicorp's time at Miss Universe Vietnam, everything that had to do with her as a talent, meaning public appearances, endorsements, sponsorships, you name it, everything was attached to Unicorp. So for her to be able to represent Vietnam at Miss Universe, she would have to be transferred contractually to the new organization. What does this mean? That Unicorp wouldn't have any access to revenue or any percentage to whatever money Thao Nhi makes for the new organization. Or in the case that she remained contractually with Unicorp, the new organization wouldn't be able to access any of the revenue or the profit from anything that Thao Nhi will do during her reign. So this was finally the deal breaker that decided that she wouldn't be able to represent the country, and the new organization decided to continue as planned with a brand new pageant which will be held this year, and a brand new winner will be selected. There is also this thing that came to mind. I don't know if you guys remember, but just a few weeks ago, Anne, the owner of Miss Universe, had this press conference where she expressed that she did not want any runner ups to represent the countries at Miss Universe, meaning that she did not want the title holder to be awarded to a runner up, but instead, the Miss Universe candidate should always be the winner of her national pageant. She also mentioned that she wanted the pageants to be held yearly, meaning that the format that they had for Thao Nhi last year at Miss Universe Vietnam was no longer compatible with the current perspective of Miss Universe. So, because of all of these things, but most importantly regarding the talent management rights, Thao Nhi will not be able to represent Vietnam at Miss Universe 2023. Honestly, this is heartbreaking because she has been preparing for this ever since she was crowned as the first runner up last year, and especially after seeing her sister, her fellow winner, deliver such an stellar performance during Miss Universe. She also took to social media to address this entire thing. She was very brief with the entire explanation. She said that she was not fully ready to talk about it and address it, but she did mention that she is grateful for the collaboration and everyone trying to come up with a solution, although it was not what she expected in the end. She's still grateful for everyone and she wishes the best to the new organization. I think that she took the high road and decided to be very, very grateful because, of course, in this scenario, I do see her as a victim of the circumstances. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this entire situation? How do you feel about it? And do you think that we might see any similar cases to this one when it comes to Miss Universe? Once again, I do apologize. I feel like for the past few days, the topics around Miss Universe have been quite heavy. I usually don't focus too much on the negativity or the drama, but I think that as a community, it's important for us to be aware of what is going on, especially with the pageants that we love and support. So I will be reading you in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one with more content. Take care, stay safe, and see ya. Bye.